What do you do if you want to collect retro video games, but either A, you don't have time, B, you don't know where to look, or C, you don't have a local retro store near you? That's where the team over at Video Games Monthly comes in. What they offer is a service that will send anywhere from 3 to 10 retro video games right to your door, and the beautiful things, this isn't a rental service. You get to keep the games. And they're pretty reasonably priced as well. You're looking $35.99 for 3 games, or $79.99 for up to 10 games. Now, we subscribe to the service throughout the year and get a number of different games included, from import systems like the Famicom, the Super Famicom, even the N64 and the GameCube. We also get games for US-based systems, the NES, the Super NES, the Master System, and a whole lot more. What we do in these videos, we unbox these, we see the value, what we got versus what we paid, and check out the condition of the games, because we don't want to have dirty games going into our systems. And if they do need to be cleaned, we're going to show you how to take care of that. So let's go ahead, let's open this up, let's see what we got for this month's box. Alright, so the way that I do my unboxings is it's a blind draw. You get to see things at the exact same time that I do, and we'll pop up the value of the game right around here. And I use an app called GameEye not only to keep track of my collection, but also lets me know what it's worth. So let's take a look at what we have in here. And first up we have, oh, a new card. And this is congratulations, we have a 2-up. That means that we have 2 extra games in here above and beyond what we pay for. So like I mentioned in the intro, I have the $34.99 a month plan, so I should normally get 3 games. This has 5 in it. We hope you enjoy your latest box. Please update your library on the website by adding these games and any other games you have acquired. All updates to your gaming library must be made by 7 days prior to the end of the month, so by the 23rd or 24th, depending on the month. And you can win 3 free games. Just post your box social media for a chance to win a free 3-up box. Nothing on the back. This is their new card. Very nice looking, guys. Let's take a look here. So, feel some cases. And what is this? Huh. So, my youngest daughter, Ellie, is not only a Princess Peach fan, but has recently gotten into Slinkies. So this is a Princess Peach Slinky. All right, so let's see what else we have in here. I feel some bubble wrap. This feels like an NES cartridge, and Ghostbusters 2. Well, I already have this. You know, this may be an example of one of the minor issues that the site has, and I need to reach out to the guys. And the cool thing is, guys, if you see this, don't worry about replacing this. So you can have up to 200 games on any one collection. I've got more than 200 NES games. I don't know that I added this to my list. Let me take a look. It's not on my list, but I am maxed out, so I'll have to let them know that this is something that I have. That is one of the bummers about the site. We will go ahead and we will open this up in a little bit and check out the cleanliness. The outside looks really good. Alright, next up, what do we have? It's a cased game. I think that's the only cartridge, the Ghostbusters 2. So this is for the GameCube. This is the Namco Museum, and it features Pac-Man. I don't even know what that's, I can't read what it says. Pole Position 2, Dig Dug, Galaga, plus 3 new games and several other Namco favorites. So we have Mrs. Pac-Man, Pac-Man, I can't tell what that says there. Pac-Man, Galaga, 2 Galagas, Galaxian, Pole Position 2, Dig Dug, and I can't tell what that one is there. Does have the manual, which is awesome to see. It is complete in box, which is awesome. I love seeing that. Disc is pretty clean. They do polish the disc, and you know, this is one of the things I've talked to them in the past. I'll have to clean this up a little bit before I put it in my system. There is a little bit of extra disc polishing agent just around the spindle. Quite honestly, a little bit of water and a microfiber cloth will take care of that. I absolutely love it. Does this have, it does have a pre-owned sticker, but it doesn't say where it came from. So, all right, so good GameCube game. Love collecting for the GameCube. For the Wii U, this is Lego Marvel Superheroes. My feeling is if you've played one Lego game, you've played them all. They're all pretty similar, just with different characters on it. This feels a little bit light, so yeah, didn't think we had a manual in here. Now, Wii U games, they are very touchy. everything looks okay, so we will throw that in our system and just make sure that it plays. But Lego Marvel Superheroes. So that's what we would have normally gotten. We should have 2 more in here. Let's see, up next for the Wii, Hot Wheels Track Attack. Compatible with the Wii wheel, which I think just about any racing game would be. Burn up the track, 4 players, build your own track using stages. Let's see, we've got a manual. Do we have a manual? Yeah, full color manual in there. Again, let's just take a look at the quality of the disc. That looks pretty good too. Very happy thus far with the quality of what we're seeing. And one last one to go here. And nothing else in the box. And this is Pinball Hall of Fame, the Williams collection. I will admit, I'm not a big video pinball fan. You know, so where I like the Lego games, I like racing games and whatnot. These are good. Ghostbusters 2 I already have, it's no big deal on that. This one, a little bit of a dud for me. I don't know what the value is. We'll pop that up on screen though. 10 classic Williams pinball tables from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, including Black Knight, Firepower, Funhouse, Gagar, Pinbot, Space Shuttle, Taxi, Whirlwind, Jive Time, and Sorcerer. It is complete, which is always, again, great to see. And disc looks great. Disc looks really good. So what we're going to do here real quick, we're just going to pop Ghostbusters 2 open. We're going to take a look at the condition of the pins. If it needs to be cleaned, we're going to clean it real quick as well. All right, so let us dive into our copy of Ghostbusters 2. Now to do that, we need what's called a security bit or a game bit. It's a 3.8 millimeter. There's a couple variants out there, like our buddy Thor gave us this one here last year at Midwest Gaming Classic. I've actually used these guys for a while. I'll have a link down below to the tools I'm going to show you. Now, do you need to take the cartridge apart to clean it? No, I'm taking it apart simply so that you can kind of see what I'm doing and the why behind what I'm doing here as well. Now, over here, these are my 1-Up cleaning cards. Just open disclaimer here, I actually work for the company, so it's not something that you know, I've been asked to do or provide. It's just I started working for the company because I believe in the product. And then just set the 3 security bits aside. Now some games will actually have 5 of these. Those tend to be earlier releases, and those will have additional screws here and there. Completely normal, nothing out of the unusual there. So taking a look here. This doesn't look terrible, but we're still going to clean it. You can kind of see this side here a little bit darker. These don't look as bad. We're going to take this out and flip it over here too. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of oxidation, signs of wear and tear, a little bit more on this side. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to break out a cleaner called Bright Boy, and that's this stuff here. This is a metal polish. We found this, and when I say we, friends of mine actually found this back in the day when I used to race radio-controlled cars, specifically to clean motors that we could not open and get inside to clean the commutators. If you're familiar with slot cars, same principle in an RC car. What we liked about Bright Boy is it was easier to get out of the motors. It didn't, look at all that crud already. It didn't leave a powdery residue behind like a Brasso did. We also, you know, for us, efficiency and horsepower was just what it was all about, especially with the motors that we were using that were very horsepower limited. So what we found is Bright Boy not only cleaned the motors, it actually helped produce more RPM. Look at that. More RPM, more torque, and overall extended the life of the motors. So at this point, I really haven't been doing any cleaning. This has just been applying, and you can see the crud that I've pulled off of here. I'm gonna let this sit for a couple minutes, let it dry, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna wipe it off.
5 minutes later.
So it's been 5 or 6 minutes since we applied the Bright Boy. And this is one of the reasons too why I opened the cartridge up, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But also, when you apply Bright Boy using something like a cotton swab like this, you can sometimes get it stuck on the plastic case here, and that can leach into your system, and we want to prevent that. So now that this is kind of dried off, we're going to go ahead and just buff that clean. And our good buddy John Riggs has got a great analogy. This is kind of like resurfacing a disc. You don't want to do it a bunch of times. Look at that. And again, all we're doing, we're trying to keep that out of our system. And I have no doubts that this probably would have worked as it was. I just want to take that extra step, you know? So I'll pull that around. Clean that side off here too. And everything that I'm showing you, I'll have links down below in a pinned comment where you can get everything that I'm showing you so you can duplicate what we're doing here. Now, when I'm done using the cotton swab to clean off the Bright Boy, a lot of you may just say use some isopropyl alcohol with a cotton swab to clean off the pins. This is where the difference is with the 1-Up cleaning cards, is the fact that this material is very tightly woven and it doesn't leave fibers and filament behind, whereas this can leave dust, debris, lint behind, and you don't want that getting into your system. Now there is the standard 1-Up cleaning card here. There's also the minis, which I could use. This is great for like Atari 2600 cartridges, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy portable games work great with this. I love these with N64 cartridges. And if you've ever wanted to have your logo on a 1-Up card, you can do that as well. Now this is the old style. It would actually feature on the back, not the front like here, but you can get those personally made. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to take some 1-Up cleaning fluid. It's just isopropyl alcohol. Put it on the fluid side. And now we're just going to go ahead and buff the pins. And normally for most people, with as dirty as these were, this should get most of that crud off of it. Just as black as this side was, and well, this whole side was, and then I think it was this side, it was the left side as I was looking at the back of them, so technically it would be that side. I wanted to just get that extra crud off of these pins. And again, I'm just cleaning, after cleaning, basically to remove any extra residue from the Bright Boy that might be left behind. Now one thing too, if you forget which way you put the board into the cartridge, it will only go in one direction. It's actually indexed here and here so that the cartridge will only accept the board in one direction. If you try to flip it around and go this way with it, as you can see, it just doesn't nothing lines up, it doesn't fit, and you won't be able to close the cartridge case that way. So we're going to go ahead and put that back together. Get everything lined up. Now one thing, if you notice too, I'm grabbing the sides of the board now versus down by the pins. I want to make sure any oil and dirt from my fingertips don't wind up back on those pins. That's why we just cleaned it. There's that. And one final tip that I've got for you here is when you go and reinstall the screws, if you're opening up an old cartridge or anything where you're threading into plastic, unscrew the screw slightly first. You'll hear it take a set, and then screw it back in. When you do it this way, it makes sure that you are utilizing the existing threads that are already cut in the plastic and that you're not cutting new threads, which could potentially strip out those screw holes. So there's that, and tighten that guy down. And I know a lot of people, it says right here, do not clean with benzene thinner, alcohol. Don't use alcohol. Well, Nintendo had their own cleaning kits back in the day that included alcohol. So, yeah, that's more of a do what we say, not what we do sort of thing. I'll get our final screw in here. Tighten that back down. Now let's go ahead, add up our value, make sure all the games played. Let's wrap things up. So in the end, we just about broke even. I mean, we got $42 worth of games, and that's about, with shipping, what we spent this month. And again, guys, if you see this, don't worry about replacing this. It's just a limitation of the system that you can only put 200 games in there. The reason they have to do that is people lie about what they actually have, so it's fine. And this was actually the most valuable game out of the box with a $15 value on it, which is, you know, pretty good. Pretty good condition as well. Just a simple cleaning needed to go ahead and make it ready to go ahead and get put into our systems. I'm glad to see here we do have the Lego Marvel game playing behind me. So again, Wii U games can just be difficult. thought I saw a little scratch on it. It's playing just fine. And again, we do have I'm kind of surprised, the Namco Museum is worth the same complete as loose. So that was kind of interesting to see. I'm looking forward to spending some time with this one, along with the Hot Wheels game. I've never played any of the Hot Wheels games, so this could be fun. No real interest in pinball, so if anything, these two, along with Ghostbusters, may become trade bait down the road, but I'm at least going to give this a try and see what I think. Speaking of what do I think, what do you think? What do you think about this month's box? Now, the way I look at Video Games Monthly every month is value. It takes time for me to go out and game hunt. They do everything for me and send it to my door. That's worth something. Sometimes you get a great box, sometimes you get a not so great box, and that's okay. That's not saying that they're bad people or they do a bad job. It's a blind box. You get what you get. Some months are definitely going to be better than others. This, from a value standpoint, that's the other thing. I want to make sure that I'm getting value for what I'm spending. We broke even, and that's, in the end, what I'm at least looking to do. Now, I would rather not see the 2-ups. I would rather just get better quality games. But quite honestly, I already have Ghostbusters 2, so it's a pretty darn good game. The Namco collection, pretty good collection here. And the Lego games, again, if you played one, you played them all, and that's not a bad thing. They're all fantastic. So I'm definitely looking forward to spending some time with Lego Marvel Superheroes. Again, let me know what you think about this month's box down below in the comments. Now, this is our November 2023 unboxing here. December is right around the corner. If you are watching this and looking for a gift idea for someone, they do offer gift certificates. So that is something, as we do approach the holidays, this is a great thing that you can go ahead and give to your favorite game collector that you may not know what to get them. Now, if you do want to check out some of the other unboxings that we've gotten over the years, where we've shown great games that are imports, US, for Sega, for Nintendo, and a whole lot more, I'll have those linked for you right here up on screen. Hope you like them.